Hi everyone, my name's Andy Robertshaw. I've been asked to have a look at Daily Killer Su Doku puzzle 30697. That's 30697. This is a greater than Daily Killer Su Doku, level 10. I've had a request from a member of the group, can I give a walk through this without solving it myself first? So let's do that. Let's have a go now. So, first thing I can see is a funny shaped box here. I've got a total of 40 between those. So this one is 5 more than this, because the box has to add up to 45. So the 14 kg is 5, 6, 8 or 9, but this one 5 more than this. So not a 5 there, or the 9 that would go with it. So 5 less than 6, 8 or 9 is 1, 3 or 4. I'll do the other stuff. Any boxes which just have a couple of options. So that 5 kg, that 14 kg, 5, 9 or 6, 8. I've got a 14 kg there, which is 5, 9 or 6, 8. And a 15 kg there, 6, 9 or 7, 8. Right, let's see anything else. So these add up to a maximum of 13. So I've got 13 there. I've got 17, so that's 30. So this and this, a minimum of 15. So I can't have the 5 there, or the 9 that would have gone with it. Okay. What else I've got? Got a maximum of 13 there. So 10 and 18 for 28. And a maximum of 13 there. So a minimum of 4 in that one. And 20 plus 5 is 25. So I've got 20 between those. I've got a minimum of 3 then. Okay, I put quite a few options in there, but that's fine. Okay, so this, I'll do the 8. So 1, 7, 2, 6 or 5, 3. I've got at least 18 there. And 14 and 17. So I've got a minimum of 49 there, 18 plus 17 plus 14. So that is at least 4 more than that. So that one is at least 5. That one is at most 5. Okay. 22, 11... So that and those two add up to 12. 9 and 1, 2. So minimum of 3, maximum of 7. So nothing more than 6 between those two cells. Right, let's have a look at... Can I get the value of that one straight away? So if I select this set, I know that this one plus this one is 9. So that set of cells adds up to 54. Right. I don't know if I'm going anywhere, but let's select these two rows. So 25... maximum 13, so 25, and what have we got here? 64, so that's 89. So 25 plus 64 is 89. So that means, well, the two rows add up to 90. So those two add up to 1 more than those 3. Right, I've already got 9 between those two. I've got a maximum of 13 there. So if these 3 are 1 less than that, they're a maximum of 12. So I've got a maximum of 3 here to go with it. But I also know I've got a minimum of 10 between those 3 cells. So I've got a minimum of 11 there. So minimum 18 plus 10 plus 11 is 39. So I've got at least 39 there. I've got a maximum of 6 in that cell. Okay, so does that help? In fact, I've got a few options there. Can I interact with this? Can I see what I've got here? So if I've got 4, then I need a total of 13 there, which could be... Right, it couldn't be 5 and 8, because I'd swallow both options for that 14 cage. So 4 there to go with 6 and 7. 5 there, then I would need 12 there, not containing a 5 or an 8. So 5 with 3 and 9, or 6 there, so that's 34. I want 11, not containing 5 or 9, so it could be 3, 8 or 4, 7. Okay, I've got more options there than I was hoping for. Right. Let's do... We're progressing well with this row. Let's do that 10 cage. So anything apart from a 5 in that one. Right, what else we got? So I will do the 11 cage as well. 2, 9, 3, 8, 4, 7, 5, 6. Lots of options. One of those things. So look at the maximum 13 and 17. That's 30. And 50. So maximum 45 between those. So this one is at most the same as this one. Could be less. So maximum 45, maximum 65. So I need at least 25 between those 5. I'm not saying too much there at this stage. Okay. Right. What I'm going to do now is look at my options for this 10 cage and see how it affects the rest of the row. If I've got 4, 6 there, then I need a 5 there. And I need a total of 12 there without using 4, 5, 6. So 3, 9 there. So 4, 6, 5, 3, 9. A total of 20 here without using 4, 5 or 6. So 3, 8, 9 or 4, 7, 9. But I need 1 and 7 there. So 4, 6, 5, 1, 7, 3, 8, 9, 2. Okay, let's try some more. 3, 7, 2, 6. So 3, 7, 2, 6. So my 20 there can't be 3, 8, 9. Can't be 4, 7, 9. Can't be 5, 6, 9. Can't be 5, 7, 8. Yeah, so if I've got 3, 7 there, I've got no option. I'd have to have 2 and 6 there. So I'd have no options left for a total of 20 from 3 cells. So I've used 1, 4, 6, 7. I've used 4, 6 there. I've used 1, 4, 6, 7. And I need 20 there still. So I can't have... I could have 3, 8, 9. Right. Sorry, I've gone off at a tangent. 3, 7 there, 2, 6. So 2367 I've got. 2367 I would have between those if I've got 37 there. So 2367, can't have 389, can't have 479, can't have 578, can't have 569, and anything, if I've got my lowest is 6, I've got 678, which is 21. Right, so I can't have 3 and 7 as that 10 cage. So if I've got 2 and 8, 2 and 8 there, I'd have 20 there without using an 8. So I must have the 9. 5, 6, 7 is only 18. So I could have 9, 4, 7 or 9, 5, 6. It would have to be 9, 5, 6. So 2, 8, 5, 6, 9 and a 4 there. And 6 and 7 there. So 2, 8, 5, 6, 9, 4, 6, 7. 1, 7 there. That seems to work. Okay, let's try the 1 and 9 in that one. So 1, 9. Total of 20 there without using a 9. So 5, 7, 8 is the only way I could do it, isn't it? So 5, 7, 8. 1, 9, 5, 7, 8, 2, 6, 4, 3. So what would I have here then? 1, 9 and 4. That's 32. Well, I've got options for my total of 13. Okay, at least I've eliminated the 3 and 7 out of that one. Right. In fact, 1, 2, 3... No, sorry, that's... What I was about to say isn't true. Yeah, I was hoping to have found hidden 1s, 2s and 3s. Yeah, I need not have a small number there. Okay, let's see then. Well, in this column, I've not got 1s and 2s as candidates anywhere yet. In fact, I couldn't have both 1 and 2 there. If I've got both 1 and 2 there, I've got 20 between those. I also know that those 3 add up to 20, so it would mean this one equals this one, which is impossible. So I can't have both 1 and 2 there. So I've got to have a 1 or a 2 in the top there. Right. So I now know this is more than... These 2 add up to more than 3. And these 3 add up to less than 20. So this will be less than this. So how helpful is that? Let's see. Right. Just wondering what I could do with 9s here. So basically, that's a maximum of 13. Or is it still a max? Yes, it is. I could have a 4 there if I got 13. So 9 there. A total of 17 between those. So the only way I could have 9 there is to have a 3 with it and a 5 there. So let's play with that for a second. 9, 3, 5... 6, 8, 7, 9, 3, 5. Right, so doesn't look like there's anything there interesting there yet. Okay, well let's move on. Let's fill in this 10 cage, 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6. let's look at a slightly bigger section. Now let's look at these 3 rows combined. What can oh, I missed a cell there, sorry. Let's see what I've got when I select all of those. 144. So in fact, I know that this one plus this... So remember that those are up to 144. This one plus this one is 9 because of the 54 there. And, well, I can take the 54 away, in fact. I can just look at these. I've got 90 there. So those 3 equal those 2. So could that be interesting? Right, so if I've got 9 there, I know I don't have 1, 2 there, but so I'd have to have 1, 3 to make that 13. So I'd have to have 13 there. So total of 20 there. So this would be 1 less than this, but 9, 5, 4. So 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 5, 9, 2, 8, 8, 7. That's possible. What happens if we put an 8 there? So then I've got a maximum of 5 there. So 8, 6. Right, so maximum of 5 there. So 8, 6. I'd have to have 5 and 9 there to make those up to 20. 8, 6, 5, 9. So that would be 2 and 8. 8, 6, 5, 9, 2, 8. 1, 7. 3, 4. So I'd have a 4 there. I'd still have a 13 there. So I'd have to have 1 and have to have a total of 5, 2 and 3 there. So 9 with 1 and 3, 8 with 2 and 3. 6 there, 8. Total of 12, which could be 3, 9 or 5, 7. Right, so can I eliminate one of those? So 6, 8. Well, let's try them both. 6, 8, 5, 7, 2, 6, 1, 9, 3, 4 again. So I need a total of 7 here, a total of 13 there. So 6, 7 there, and 4, 2, 5. But the 4 seems to be coming through there, whatever I do here. So I'll try the other option then. So 6, 8, 3, 9, 4, 6, 5. So 4, 6, 5. So then I've got 28 there, 33 there. I need 12 there, which could be 3, 9 or 4, 8. But I'd need 6 and 8 there. So I'd need 3 and 9 there. So, but I need a total of 6 between those two. 3, 9, 6, 8, but with 5 there. So I'd have 2 and 4. However, what I do know now, so basically I've got nothing more than 5 between those. What I have learnt from this is that this pair of numbers is 12 or 13. So knowing that they're 12 or 13, I can eliminate a 6 from that. So I've got 28. I've got, in fact, 28. Yes, I've got 40 or 41. So I've got 4 or 5 there. So that cell is 4 or 5. Is there anything else I can eliminate from there? So if I've got 13, there, I need 4 there. So my 13 must be 6 plus 7. If I've got 12 there, I've got 5 there and 6, 8 there. So my 12 must be 3, 9. So 3, 9 or 6, 7. So the 4 or 8 can go from that. So of 6s and 9s, I've got a 6 or a 9 there and a 6 or a 9 there. So I couldn't have a 6 or a 9 in that one, or the 6 or 9 there that would have gone with it. So that's 7 or 8 in this 15 cage. Right, so let's look at this now. I feel going around a bit of a circle, but a good one. So maximum 13 there, add that, maximum 30. So minimum 15 between those two. So I can't have a 6 there now, because I'd be too small between these. So no 6 there, no 8 there that would have gone with it. So that's 5, 6. 5 or 6 there now. Right, let's follow through once again where we just were. So knowing now, I only have 8 or 9 as options here. So forgive me if I'm repeating myself a bit, but that set of cells adds up to 90. So these 3 add up to these 2. So let's do 9 there first. 5, 4, 6 and 7. 8 there, 6. I've got 5, 9 there to make up the 20. In fact, must I have the... Simple way of looking at it, this set of 20 has a 5 or a 6. I suppose it could be 5, 7, 8. Okay, I'm going to carry on. So 8, 6, but with 6 there I need a total of 14 for 5, 9, and a 4 there. With 9 there I've got 5 there and 4 there straight away. So either way round, that is a 4. So no 4 there, no 4, 6 there, no 4 there. Right, and also a total of 13 there. 18 plus 10 plus 4 is 32. 13 there, which is 6 and 7. And the 14 is 5 and 9. So not a 5 there. So if these 3 now add up to 13. So it could be 9, 1, 3 or 8, 2, 3. But I've got a 6, 7 there. So I must have an 8 there and a 7 there. So these two added up to at least 15. It will add up to 15 either way. But no 7 there and no 7, 4 there. Right, so I think we're making some progress. I've got a 1, 2, 3 there, a 1, 2 or 3 there, and a 1 or 2 there. So 1, 2, 3 are all contained within this one. So no 3 there. In fact, there was probably a simple reason to explain that, but that will do. So what could my sum of 20 be here? It could be 5, 6, 9 or 5, 7, 8. Yeah, so a few options there. 5, 6, 9, 5, 7, 8. So I've got a 5 there. My total of 15. So my 20 is the other total of 15, the 6, 9, 7, 8, along with the other total of 5, which is not there. In fact, I put everything but the 5 in there. No worry. No serious worries on that. So what else can I see? So of 5, 6 and 7, I want 2 of them there and 1 of them there. Let's do this 18 cage. So it's the other sum of 10, 1, 9 or 2, 8, along with 3 and 5. So can't have a 7 in that column. Can't have the 7 there either. Right, what else can I see anything else? What can I have hit? Let's have a quick look at this one. So knowing that I've definitely got the 3 there with the 1 or the 2. So I've got 28 and I've got 32 or 33. So if I've got 32, I've got 1 and 3 there, and I need 13 more, which must be 4 and 9. If I've got 33, I've got 2 and 3 there. In fact, I'd need 12 there. If I've got 2 and 3 there, I can't have 12 there. I've got a 3, a 7 and an 8. So all 3 options, namely 3, 9, 4, 8 or 5, 7, are taken. So I do need 13 there. So adding back up again, 41 between those. So I need 1 and 3 there. So that's a 2. That's not a 2. And remembering these, I'll highlight them once again, but those 3 cells sticking out, and I missed the same one as I missed last time I selected them, they add up to 90, so those 3 add up to those 2, which is 13. So 1 plus 3 plus 9 is a 13, and that's a 5. So that 8 isn't 5 or 3. So I've got 1 or 2 there, 1 or 2 there. So that one is a 3. That's not a 3. So this plus this was 9. So that's not a 6. That's not the 8 that would have gone with it. That 10 isn't 1 and 9. So what can I see? There must be something else. I can fill in that 20 cage. So 2, 4, 5, 7 for that 20. I've got a 5 in that column. Right. So is there anything I can do in this 17 cage? So obviously can't contain a 3. Right. It feels like there are too many options. I need at least 18 there without using 2, 5 or 9. Without using an 8, I'd have to have 5, 6, 7. I couldn't do it without using an 8, so I need an 8 in that one. So the next highest number is 7. So I'd need at least a 3 to go with that. So 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So must have an 8 there. Could get away without a 6. In fact, I've got an imbalance there. So that's 8 there. 4 plus 1 plus 3 is 8. I need a total of 15 there. Can't have a 7 there, so can't have an 8 there. Right. Let's have a look at this 15 cage. So 1 and 8 and 6. So if I've got 1 there, I'd have a 3 and 6 there. I need 11 more without using 3 or 6. So 2, 9 or 4, 7. I'll put them all in. If I've got 4 there, I've got 5 there, 9 there. I need 8 more without using 3, so 2, 6 or 1, 7. Again, that's quite a few options. Right. Let's fill in the rest of this bottom row. I've got 4, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 between the rest of the cells, but not a 5 in that one. Must I have an 8 in that 17? The most I can have without it is 4, 5, 6, which is 15. So I do need an 8. And I could have 3, 6 or 4, 5 to go with the 8. In fact, that's interesting now. I must have an 8 in one of these 2 columns of this box, along with the 8 here. So my 8 in this, my 8 must be one of those, so I'll use the underline for that. 8 in this box must be one of those. So that 11 isn't 3 and 8, and that one isn't an 8. Right. So these 4 then, not using an 8, I've got a pair out of 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, to be joined by 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, right, well, what else have we got? If I've got 9 there, 9 plus 2 is 11, I'd need 1 and 5 to make that up. But I can't have that with those there, so that's not 9. If I've got 6 there, that's 8. I need a total of 9 there, which could be 1, 8. It could only be 1 and 8, couldn't it? So, can't be 2, 7. Can't be 3, 6 if I've got a 6 there. And can't be 4, 5. So 6 there will give me 1 and 8 between those two. 5 there and 2. I want a total of 10 there. Not 2, 8, not 1, 9. So 3, 7 or 4, 6. Again, more options than I was hoping for at first. But I now know this 11 isn't 5 and 6 because that's all I've got left for that cell. So that 11 is 2 and 9. So 2s and 9s can go from that one. The 9 and the 6 that would have gone with it can go from that one. And no 2 there. Right. So let's have a look. 33. I want 12 there. 1, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5. I've got options, so I won't take anything out just yet. Right. What else? Yeah, look at the same place again. So what? 1, 5, 6 or 3, 4, 5. So there's definitely a 5 there. And a 1, 6 or a 3, 4 add up to 7. So the other pair of 1, 6, 3 and 4 go in that 22 cage to join the 8. So I'll keep those underlined for now. And, sorry, 1, 6, 3, 4. And I know the 7 is in there also. In fact, the 7 has to go in this. I've got a 7 in there, a 7 which has to go there. The 7 must also go in this column of this box. So those two are in fact 7 and 8. Right. And a total of 7 there, be it 1, 6 or 3, 4. Right. So what else? Anything else jumping out? Right, so going back to what I said earlier, 31 there and another 18. So that's it. That's interesting now, isn't it? So 18 and 17 and 14 is 49. So those two are at least 4 more than that one. And the only way I can do that is to have a 1 there. Because even if I've got a 3 there, I can't have 4 more than 3 there. So that's a 1. So not a 1 there. Not a 1 there, or the 9 that would have gone there with it. Not a 1 in either of those. Right, so let's see what else that tells us now. So 5 there and 2. I could have 3, 7 or 4, 6 still there. 6 and 2 is 8. My total of 9's I can't have 3, 6. My total of 9 was 1 and 8. But that's gone. I don't have because I've got a 6, I can't have another 6 in there. So I can't have a 6 there at all. I've got to have a 5 there. And for the 10 then I've got 3, 7 or 4, 6. In fact, the 8 was always going to be in that one. Excuse me, I should have possibly seen that earlier on. So no 5 there. Right. In fact, what does that mean? Yeah, I could still have the 5 there. So 8 with 4, 5 or 3, 6. So the 5 comes with the 4. I couldn't have the 4 there, because if I did have the 4, I'd need a 5 to go with it and have nowhere to put it. Right. So what else? 1, 3. Right. Yeah, I'm just looking for things now as I see them. I do know that is now a total of, because that's exactly 4 more than that, or another way of looking at it, 12 and 14 and 1 is 27. So that is those are exactly 18. Right, okay, but there are options. I've got loads of options there. I did this not so long ago. So 1, 3, 8, 6. I could have 2, 9 or 4, 7. 4, 5, 9. 2, 6 or... I've got... Yeah, I have got options there, so... Can I get rid of any of these options for this 10 cage? So 8 and 2... I mean, my 8 and 17 cage is there. So a total of 9. 8, 2... Also couldn't be 4 and 5 because it would swallow up... Well, I've swallowed 2, 4 and 5 there in there. So 8, 2, 8, 3, 6, 1, 4, 5, 7... In fact, I've done something daft here, haven't I? The 20 should have been 2, 4, 6, 7. Right. I don't think I've done anything on that, so I think we're okay still. So 2, 8, 8, 4, 5 or 3. Right. I think that's okay. So 3, 7, 1, 4. Yeah, I'm not getting any with that. Right. 6. So I'm conscious of the fact on this left-hand side I haven't filled in much at all. seem to have focused towards the middle and the right and what I've been able to fill in so far. I do need a 9 on that top row. I can't have a 1 there. Let's get rid of that. 3, 4, 6. Yeah, so 9's got to go somewhere there. 4, 6, 1, 3, 8, 5, 2, 7, 5, 6. 2, 3, 5, 1, 6, 3, 4. Right, let's just... I can't have a 6 there because those two add up to 7. I think I can eliminate 4 and 6 from there. 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 6. Now, if I've got 1 and 6 there, I've either got 1 and 6 here, which would be impossible in that sense, or 1 and 6 here. Now, the 1 and 6 here would form a deadly pattern with the 1 and 6 here. So that's... we can't have that. We can't have two solutions. So that 10 cage is not 4 and 6. So, is that helpful? 2, 8, 8 there. I've got 5, 6, 7 there. Right. Or 3, 7, 1, 4. 3, 7, 1, 4, 1. I've got a 1 as one of those two. 5, 6, 8. So 8 joined by 5 or 6 there. So we'll have a 2 there. Right, yeah, it's getting too complicated, that one. But at least I've eliminated 4 and 6 out. In fact, 4 goes there or there on that row. So if I've got 4 there, I've got 1, 3, 2, 8. 5's got to be part of the 17 as well. So 4 there, 1, 3, 2, 8, 5, 6, 7, 2, 5. Or 4 there will give me a total of... I'm going to look at this one first. So a total of 8 there, which could be 2, 6 or 1, 7. But 5 and 9... and 9, 5, 2, 9. Right. Okay, I can't see anything into that one, unfortunately. Let's put an 8 in this 17. I've got to have an 8 in this 17 cage. Total of 9, not 1, 8, not 3, 6. So 2, 7 or 4, 5. I can't have 2, 7 there, can I? Because I'd take up both options for this 8 cage. So I can't have 8 with 2, 7. That must be 8, 4, 5. So no 4 in that one. Right, see if that helps. So 1, 3, 8, 6, 9, 2, or 4, 5, 9, and a total of 8. 9, 2, 1, 7, 2, 6. Okay, 4, 5, 8 there. Right. Can I see anything else? So if I got the 9 there, so 9, 1, 4, 6. In fact, does that fall apart straight away? It'd be 9, 9, 2, 9, 2, 1, 7, 2, 8, 6, 9. Yeah, okay, I'm struggling to see anything. Right, there must be something here for us. So let's see. 8. Let's fill these in. So 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, but not a 3 there. Um, 2, 9, 2. Right, no. So what's happened when I tried 2 and 8 there? 2, 8, 8 there. So 3, 6, or 4, 5. So 7 with 5 or 6. 3, 7, 1, 4. Right, yeah, it's proving to be a bit of a struggle, but anyway, we will get there. So total of 15 there. The other total of 15 is in there. The total of 5 there. Yeah, total of 15, total of 5. So we've got 6 there. I've got 9 there. I've got 7 there. So 9, 5, 4. Total of 8 there, 2, 6. So 6 there would give me 6 and 9 there. And a 7 and 8 within there. 7 there would give me 6 there. So I couldn't have a 6 on that row of that cage any way round. I don't know how helpful that's going to be. So 7, 6 means no 6 there. So I could have 1, 7, or 9-2 still there. Right, yeah, the options all seem to be there still. Okay, I am going to get there. Right, so false. I just feel to have a lot of options here and here. When the options go onto 2 rows, I feel that I've got a lot of them. Oh. So if I've got 1 and 9 there, I've got 2, 6, I've got 9 there. I'd have to have a 9 there. And a 6 in the top of that one, and 7 and 6. So 2, 8 there give me 6, 9, 1, 7. So I'd have 7 and 8 between those two. It just feels like I've got lots of possibilities with that one as well. 1, 9, 8, 7, 2, 6, 9, 5, 4. So it was 8, 7 there. And 9 there. Or 2, 8 for 9 there. So the 9 has to be there or there. That one isn't a 9. Right, that's... Not sure how helpful that was. 2, 8... 2, 8, 6, 9, 1, 7... I've got 1, 3, would have 1, 3, 5, 9 there. Right. It's, yeah, not happening. Okay. So let's keep looking if there's anything else we can have a go at. So 1, 4. In fact, I've got a 1 as one of those and a 1 as one of those. So those 2 columns, the 1... Right, I should have seen this ages ago, so apologies for this. But with a 1 in one of these 2 columns of this box and a 1 in one of these 2 columns of this box, can't have a 1 there, can't have a 1 there. So my 5 there is 2 and 3, so that's not 2 or 3. That's not 2 or 3. They're not 2 or 3. That's not a 3. Those two add up to 7. I'm left with 1, 4, 6 there. I want 1, 3, 6 there now. So 1, 3, 6. Is that helpful? That should get us somewhere, I would hope. So the 2 is one of those. But in fact, I now know the 3 is one of those. So the 3 is not one of those. So the 3 is in this 17 cage, and therefore must be 3, 6, 8. So no 4, no 5. Right, okay, so no 6s in this one. So I've got a 1 there. I'm going to take a step back. I don't know, I've just mispressed something. So do away with the 6s. Do away with the 1s from those. Yeah, so I've got 2, 4, 5. Not a 1 there, not the 6 there that would have gone with it. I've got a 5 in that column, so 4 there, 6 and 1. And I've got 3, 4 there, so no 4s there. I've got a 1 in that row now, so 3. One of those must be a 3, so that 10 can't be 3, 7, it's 2 and 8. So that's 6. That's not 8, it's 3. So that's 1 and 3, and that one's therefore a 4. So this plus this was 9, remember? So that's 5 and 9, so no 9 there. 1, 2, 6, 7. I've got 2 pairs of 8 there basically now. So I've got a 2 and a 6 in that row, so they're 5, 7. 2, 6, so that's not 2 there, so 5 and 2. 3, 5, 6. So 1, 7, 9. So I've got a 5 in that row, so 9 and 5 and 2 and 9. So 3, 4, 7, 8 for this, the rest of this row. Okay, so what comes next? It must be, we must be nearly there now. What can I have here? I've got an 8 in this cage, and a total of 10 to go with it. I could have 8 with 3, 7, or I could have 8, 7, 3, 8, 4, 6, 8, 3, 7. Couldn't have a 4 there. Let's take that one out. I've got a 5 and a 3 in that column, so 6 there. So no 6 there, no 2 that would have gone with it, no 6 there. Right, where are we now then? So total of 10 there, be it 3, 7 or 4, 6. I've got a 9 in that row, so no 9 there. So I'm still not sure whether the 9s in this row are part of the 10. So anything else jumping out? So I've got 27 there, must have 18 between those. Still looks like there's plenty of options there. Right, 1, 7. So 6s and 7s, I've got 6 or 7 there, and 6 or 7 there. So can't have a 7 there, that's 8 or 9. I've also got 8 or 9 there, and 8 or 9 there. So I can't have any 8s anywhere else in the 20 cage. 6 or 7 there, 6 or 7 there, so can't have a 6 anywhere else in that cage. I've got an 8 in that column anyway, so 6 and 9 must be it there, and 7 and 8 for those two. So no more 8s in that row, no 7 there, so that's 6 and 7 like that. Right. I've got a 9 in that row, so 2 and 8 between those two, and 1 and 7 between those two, and those two are 2 and 6. So let's get rid of the 2 and 6s. So that's 3, 2, no 2 there, no 3 there. So I've got an 8 in that box, so not an 8 there. I've got a 4 and a 9 in that column, so 1, 7, 8 is all I've got left to go there. Can't have 7 or 8 there because I'd form a deadly pattern with a 7, 8 there. So no 7, 8 pair there, so that's a 1 and that's a 7. Right, that's an 8 then, isn't it? That's 8, 7, 8. So I'm sure I can clear this top row out a bit now. So no 7 there, that would have had to go with a 3 there. 3, I've got an 8 in the row, so 3, 4, 6, 9 still to go in, with a 9 on the top row of that box. But 8 plus 1 is 9, I need 13 more to make up the 22. So I can't have a 3 there. A 4 would have to go with a 9, so I can't have a 4 there. I can't have a 6 there either, so that's got to be 9, need a 4 there. So this pair are 3 and 7. So I've got 3, 4, got 9. That one's a 6. So that must be a 2. So 8 and 2 that way round. Not 8 there. So my 8 here must be that one. I've got a 6 now in this row. So I need a total of 10 there. So that must be 3, 7 or 4, 6. So I've got 3 7s in this row, so that's 4 and 8. So let's do away with 4 there, so that's got to be 3, 7. So that can't be 3, 7 or 8, that's a 6. And that's 4 and 3 that way round. Okay, what else can we see? I've got a 5 as one of those two, so that's 3 and 5 that way round. 7 and 3 and 1 and 7 and 9 and 1. Okay, so we're getting there. 1, 4 there, 2, 8, 4, 8. So, right. Well, let's look for deadly patterns. So 1, 4, 1. I can't have 1, 5 in the same column here because I've got 1, 4, 4, 5. If I got 1 and 5 both there, I could have 4, 5, 5, 1, 1, 4, or 5, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1. Deadly pattern. So I've got a 1 as one of those. I can't have a 5 to go with it. So my 5 must be one of those two. That's not a 5, it's a 7. So 7 and 5 that way round. In fact, I think that was the only place in the column I could have had the 7 anyway. So is anything else jumping out? I've been doing this and talking about it for a while now. I don't function at my best when I've got to talk about them at the same time, unfortunately. I've got a 6 in the column, so 2 and 6 that way round. 8, 2, 4, 8, 9, 4, 5, 3, 1, 9, 4, 1, 5, 4. We made it. Okay, after a couple of attempts, a couple of mistakes, bit of editing, we got there. So I hope you found that helpful. I hope there's some useful techniques, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.